This recording has a fun history. It came about because Laura Strickling released Confessions with us, her album that begins with Clarice Assad's piece that Clarice premiered on that actual recording. It won a Grammy nomination. That might have influenced Laura a little bit, but she was highly enthusiastic. So a few months after that, Clarice called and said, Bob, I'm touring this new piece that I wrote. There was a commission for Takács Quartet plus Julien Labro on bandoneón. And there are 3 new pieces that the quartet is touring around the world. My piece called Clash, Julien's piece called Meditation No. 1, and then Bryce Dessner's piece called Circles. And we really want you to record it. And I said...
So she approached you?
She did.
Oh, wow.
So I said, that is a wonderful idea. Takács is part of the Hyperion record label group, so I'm happy to collaborate in any way possible, but that's a hurdle that we need to surmount. So she talked with Harumi many times, and Harumi and Ed secured permission from Hyperion to do this recording with Yarlung Records. And we scheduled this for Boulder at the university where Takács is resident to record in their beautiful concert hall. And we were all planning to record there April 16th and 17th of 2023. Harumi started listening to some of our recordings that we'd recorded at Segerstrom Center. And she called me and she said, Bob, we're coming to Segerstrom. And I said, oh, I better check availability because the hall is booked 4 years in advance. Aaron Agigin was able to work a miracle, and in early April, same month that we were originally planning to record, he secured us 3 days in Samueli Theater at Segerstrom Center, where we did make the recording. So one of the questions that Clarice and I needed to answer for ourselves was, we have these 3 magnificent quintets, string quartet plus bandoneón, to record, but what else would fit well on an album? And she said, well, I would like to write some music for Harumi and me, for violin and piano that we can perform that will be a good companion for this. I said, I love that idea. So Elizabeth and Justice Schlichting commissioned the work called Constellation for Clarice to write for Harumi on violin and Clarice on piano, which she played herself. And then we scheduled all the flights and the hotels, and it all worked. It was a miracle. I'm very happy with the results. And I called Harumi and said, Harumi, what would be a good piece to go with this material for solo violin? I'd like to feature you. And she thought about it, and she said, there's actually a piece I really would like to play that would fit well. It's Sarajevo's Nocturne. I said, I love everything Sarajevo wrote that I've heard, so let's go for it. She said, okay. Now, I warn you, I can't play it. It's impossible to play. I said, don't worry, Harumi. I know you. Sure enough, her first take is the one on the album. Clarice is a fantastic musician and composer in all these arenas. She's a great jazz musician. She does crossover music, fusion music, classical music, Brazilian folk music, and she's a singer. So the commission for Clarice to write Constellation for the 2 of them, for her and Harumi on violin, is entirely notated. It is written out, the score is complete, so that it can be performed by any pianist and any violinist. However, Clarice, with my great encouragement, felt comfortable improvising and adding quite a bit to the piano part. Harumi is playing almost everything as written. There is an improv section which she does beautifully, but most of it is actually notated fully. Clarice, first of all, there's no stopping her. If she wanted to improvise, she would, but I actually encouraged it, and the results were spectacular. It's a very sweet piece, actually. We wanted something that would show another side of Clarice than Clash, which is an aggressive, beautiful, but aggressive piece about all kinds of trauma and stress in the world, and hopefully the resolution thereof. However, Constellations is a piece that she wrote about her family. She just has a new baby, Stella, And Sela, I feel, it is not a programmatic work, but I feel that she's there in this new 3-movement work. It's a fantastic poem to the beauty of her family. And it's a fantastic companion piece to Clash and to the rest of the music on the album. Clarice and the Takács Quartet members and Julien Labro join me in being very grateful to Elizabeth and Justice Schlichting, Russell Ward, Raleigh Marcus, who rallied the troops early on, Aaron Agigian, Chip and Sharon Moore, Ann Horton, Steve Block, Don Pattison, David Leavenworth. You know a lot of these names from prior Yarlung recordings, but we are grateful to you every time. Thank you for your support and thank you for your underwriting that made the album possible.